I'm Judy Zelina. This is the Millcreek Government Channel. The Erie Zoo is the perfect place to spend the day or just a few hours. A comfortable walk throughout the Erie Zoo and Botanical Gardens takes about 2 hours. You'll enjoy visiting with nearly 400 animals in their collection, as well as the 11 beautiful gardens throughout the park. There's always something exciting happening at the zoo. And to give us this up-to-date information, we have Emily Antolik, and Emily is the Erie Zoo Communications and Event Coordinator. She's joining us today, and I have a funny feeling that, of course, she's brought along some guests.
I did bring some guests with me today.
Well, I can't wait to meet them.
Yeah,
but
of
Emily,
course.
thank you for being on the program.
Thanks
you know,
for
I
having me.
love the zoo. Every time we talk, I tell you that me and my daughter and the granddaughters just love it. We love spending the day there.
Good.
So you have a lot of stuff going on there. You got some new babies.
Yes, we do have some babies.
Who joined us this year?
We have a baby orangutan,
Okay.
a baby warthog, and a baby llama. So we have lots of babies. And last summer we had a Simang, which is a smaller primate. She had a baby, but you know, they grow human rates, so he's still very small as well. So it's nice to see him swinging around in his exhibit. It's very cute.
Actually, he is cute. I have seen him. I don't remember seeing the baby llama though.
She's new. Her name is Emmy, and she was born June 1st. So.
All right. Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I didn't get. Obviously she wasn't out, or I didn't get to see her. So, and one thing about the zoo, you always have something going. You've got different events. I know that you have annual events that are people really look forward to. Tell our viewers about some of the events that you have going on every year.
We always do the Easter egg hunt. We always do Equipment Day, Frozen Safari, and McDonald's Day. Those are the events that we do every single year, and those are, you know, based more towards the kids.
Right.
And the adult side of it, we always have Galapagooza, and then last year was the first year that we had lions, tigers, and beers. And so that's like a beer fest that you walk around the zoo in the fall, and we use the Zubu huts. So instead of trick-or-treating for candy, you're trick-or-treating for a different craft beer sample.
Well, I think that is interesting. I missed that last year, but I'm going to have to do it this year. Now tell us a little bit about like some of these events. Do you have to get tickets in advance? How does that work? For the bigger ones, for the adult ones.
For the adult ones, you have to get your tickets in advance. Galapagooza tickets, you know, they go on sale the Monday after the zoo opens every year.
Okay.
And they sell out in about 20 minutes. But if you wait in line, we really try to get you a ticket if you're there. So waiting in line is your best way to get tickets.
Okay, all right.
Lions, Tigers, and Beers, you can buy those tickets online, and we post on our website and our Facebook when those tickets will go on sale.
Okay. Now you have a big parade too, don't you?
We do have the zoo parade. You know, it was a little bit of a transition year this year because the llamas that we had, we retired them from the parade. The walk was just a little bit too long down State Street, and you know, they were 17 years old, so they retired this year.
Right.
So in the summer of them, we got new llamas. So we have the baby llama and her mom, and then another boy. So we are trying to halter train them and to walk on a lead. So we'll get llamas back in the parade eventually.
Yeah.
You know, everyone takes some, you know, sometimes they're fast learners, sometimes they're not. So they were just patient. Every animal is different.
Now you end the zoo, your zoo year, the last event you usually have a zoo boo, correct?
Correct, yes.
What all is involved with that? What do you do for the kids and the adults on that day?
So there's different candy stops. You know, it's a scary but not too scary place. So we have the grounds decorated. You know, of course they get the treats, and then we have different entertainment. Sometimes we have a balloon animal artist, we have a magician, DJ, the kids can dance on a little stage, the train is running, and then we also have some lawn rides as well. We get 2 little spinny rides that the kids can go on.
They have fun.
Oh, they do have so much fun.
They really do. I know my granddaughters have been there too. Did you have this year, or are you going to have this year, you know how you have the animals do artwork?
Yeah, our animals are always painting. We have 2 different shows. We have one by Christmas and one by Easter. So, and if you need something in between that time, you can always go on the Erie Zoo's Etsy store. We have a little Etsy store that the animals can showcase their artwork.
Do you really?
Yeah, and you just have to search Erie Zoo in the the little search bar, and you'll find us right away.
Okay. And so you sell the paintings on there?
Yeah. They're little Picassos at the zoo, and each animal has a different painting style and how they do it. So it's very unique.
Now, you have something called Wild Wednesdays.
Yes.
Tell our viewers a little bit about what happens on Wild Wednesdays at the zoo.
Every Wednesday in July, the Erie Zoo is open till 8 p.m. And that just gives, working moms and dads or working grandparents time to get to the zoo during the week. And, it's fun to go to the zoo a little bit later because the animals do different things that you don't normally get to see because most people aren't at the zoo past 5 o'clock. So
right.
You get to see them in a little different environment.
Okay, now, I do believe you do have some guests joining us.
Okay.
And I think our viewers are wondering what you're going to treat me to today.
Okay, so our first one is going to be my favorite animal that we can handle. This is Ozzie. He's a ball python. So you can see, a lot of people will think snakes are slimy or they're gross, but you can feel his skin here. He's very, very shiny and no slime. He's not sticky. He's just really pretty.
I'm going to tell you, I love his colors. Those are my colors.
Yes, yes.
I'm always wearing gold, so
Okay.
yes, he is my color. He actually is very, very pretty.
He would. So, you won't find a snake like this in your backyard. This species is from Africa. So he would blend right into the forest, the trees, the ground, where he would live in.
I would not want to find him in my backyard, so I feel much better knowing that.
Yep, nope, he can't survive out in the Pennsylvania wilderness. He needs some heat on him.
Now, is Ozzie young, middle-aged, or older? How?
Yeah,
maybe
so
not
he's
exactly, but
definitely a senior
is he?
citizen snake that we have.
I can relate, Ozzie. I get
But
it.
ball pythons can live all the way up to like 40 years old, and that's just an average age. Unfortunately, some things die sooner, and some people live, way above the lifespan. So the animals are just the same.
Okay.
We always just give an average age.
All right, so average 40 years.
Yeah, and they call him a ball python
Why?
because if he felt threatened, he would use all of his muscles, and he's not going to go in a ball, but he would squeeze into a little ball, and he's so strong that nothing would try to swallow him because he's so thick when he's all
Does he
wrapped
wrap
up.
around?
Yeah, he just curls
wraps
himself
around?
all up in a ball, and he looks way too big to swallow.
Well, obviously, I'm not very threatening, am I, Ozzie?
No, he's not threatened by us.
But the kids love.
Yeah.
Love Ozzie.
They love him. He's been going to preschool programs, senior citizens homes, ever since he's been a little snake that came to the zoo. So he wasn't hatched at the zoo, but we got him relatively shortly after that.
Tell me about a snake, okay? I can see their little tongues and.
So his little tongue is going, and
for?
that's how he smells. So that's called the Jacobson organ, and then he uses those smells that are on that split part of his tongue, and he puts it into his mouth, and that's how he can tell about the environment that's around him.
So he's checking everything out right about now.
Just checking everything out. Yeah. He likes the lights here. He's gonna take the heat from the lights.
I bet he likes it nice and warm.
Yeah, he always likes it nice and warm.
Now, is where you keep him at the zoo is warm in there?
Yeah, he has special heat lamps.
Okay.
He can be out with like this for quite some time, but at nighttime when he's sleeping, he does like it nice and warm.
So I can imagine that. Now, do you let the little kids hold some of the animals?
No, the kids never hold any of the animals. We take special training classes to be able to handle all the animals. So they just get to touch. And the earlier the kids start, the earlier we teach them, like gentle petting.
Right.
How to approach an animal. You don't want to smack them. They learn just to lightly tap, and they learn that for all the different species. So it's very the kids learn a lot of stuff in the baby classes.
How many snakes do we have at the zoo?
We have about 7 different species of snakes at the zoo. And then about 3 of them are ambassador animals, and that means that we can take them to different programs in different locations. Some of them stay strictly at the zoo. Like we have a ground boa, and he is, he's massive. His name's Goliath, and he, I think he's over 12 feet long. So
thank you for not bringing Goliath.
I don't even think I could lift Goliath if I wanted to.
But I'll tell you, Ozzie really. How long did you say Ozzie is?
He's probably about 4 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. Spread out. Yep.
He's kind of a tall thing.
Yeah, he eats once a week.
What does he eat? Tell me what he eats.
He's actually afraid of live mice, so he eats already dead mice. So they come like that from a source, and then we thaw them out for him because he's afraid of the ones that
Is
move.
he really?
Yeah.
I'll be
So
darned.
he's a gentle giant.
Oh, he sure is.
Yeah.
Ozzie, I'm afraid of live mice too. So.
Me too.
I'm glad you
I would
didn't-
much rather hold a snake than a mouse.
He is very, very interesting.
Yeah.
And actually, I think the more you're looking and you're seeing Ozzie, you aren't as frightened.
No, there's nothing
I
to
think
be
it's a
scared
great
of here.
intro to different animals that you're not familiar with, so you're afraid of them.
Yeah, you know, he's a great snake to be introduced to, and that's another part of our education class is that when we have animals, it's okay to pet them, but in the wild, if you did see a snake in Pennsylvania or anywhere, if you were camping, you saw a snake somewhere, you never approach it because you don't know what kind of temperament it has. So that's something that we also try to teach everybody in our classes at the zoo is, you know, leaving the wild animals that are in the wild alone.
What snakes do we have in Pennsylvania that we would have to be concerned about?
You know, up in the mountains of Pennsylvania, far you can
in the Alleghenies.
you can see a rattlesnake. You can see other snakes that can bite. I've never seen, you know, other than a garden snake, I've never actually seen another snake in
Nor have
Pennsylvania.
I.
And we can keep it that
I'm okay
way.
with that. I'm okay.
Yeah. So, but just different, you know, geographical locations, you can find some snakes that probably don't want to be touched.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ozzie, I'm so glad you came to join us, and really, so the viewers could just get, you know, a good view of him, and really get to learn to know up close
Yeah.
some of the animals that, as we're at the zoo, we're of course going to see Ozzie behind glass, but this way you can actually see him, and I actually get to, he really is soft, and look at this.
Just smelling you. Yeah, he kind of feels like a couch.
He does.
We cover his ears when we say that, but he does. That's what I try to, the people who are, you know, afraid to touch him, that's why I say, he feels like a couch. And they're like, oh my gosh, he does. So, yeah, there's really nothing to be afraid of here. And he definitely is my favorite animal to take out because people are just afraid of snakes. They just have a bad reputation, but he's just beyond awesome. So. We're going to switch now.
All
We'll meet
right.
our other friend.
Okay.
Okay.
Who else do we have here today?
His name is Floyd. And
He's in the glove.
okay, he's in the glove. Hold on. We're gonna get him out here.
Oh, how cute! We had gloves there, and he decided to go crawling in.
Yeah, so he's in here. He looks kind of like a hedgehog, but he's from the island of Madagascar. It's called a Tenrec, and that's the only place that Tenrecs are found. Let's get him out of here.
In Madagascar?
In the islands of Madagascar, yeah. He
really isn't coming out.
He's a good little hider. Come on, Floyd.
Floyd is not coming out.
Floyd is not coming out. I don't. He's using all of his might stay inside this glove. Here we go.
Oh, come on.
Come on, Floyd.
Come on, Floyd.
Maybe we can turn him this way. Look, there he goes.
There he goes. Wait till you see him. He is cute.
And we wear the gloves because Tenrecs would like to dig in the dirt. So they have really sharp nails. You can see those little spines on them. He can't shoot those out or put those in anything.
There
That's just a myth. He can't shoot them out or anything.
No?
So, no. That's just, if a predator was in the wild, he would roll up into a ball as well, but all those spines would stick up and nothing would want to swallow him. And you can see he feels like a vintage hairbrush, very prickly.
He does.
Something that you would feel like from a barber shop.
He is very cute. He looks like a mouse.
He does look like a mouse, so he's kind of in the rodent family.
Okay.
He has the, you know, the rodent face.
Okay.
But he has then these spines. But you know, when a Tenrec is born, same with a porcupine, they're born without those spines. They grow a couple weeks later. So he's born completely like hairless.
Oh, really?
Yes, yes. So the mom is probably grateful for that.
And these are, what does he use these, the spines here for?
If he were to feel threatened, he would roll up into a ball, and the predator wouldn't want to swallow him because he's so pointy. That wouldn't feel good to swallow.
And I see on his face he's got like the different hairs.
Yep.
And tell me about those. What he needs those for.
Well, these are just like the little whiskers. So when they're digging in things, they use those little whiskers to help them, because it's dark in those holes.
Okay.
So it kind of helps them keep their balance if they're touching something. So they just use those.
So they can, it's sort of like
helps
keeps
them navigate a little bit. Yeah, yeah, definitely. And you can see his long nails here.
Oh, those nails that are like grabbing onto dear life?
Yeah. So you can see his nails, and that's to dig. They really like to dig little tunnels, and he wants to go back in the glove. And they have this unique little thing about them is that since they dig in those holes and they're in the dark, their eyes create this substance that they push out the dirt. So sometimes you might see it looks like he has little tears in his eyes.
Okay.
But it's more of like a milky substance that helps push the dirt out in his eyes that he uses from digging. So that's pretty neat.
Look at those little, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Those nails on him.
Yeah, they're small but mighty.
Look at him, there he goes. There he goes. Now, do we have just one Tenrec?
We have two. We have Floyd and Henrik.
Okay. And how long has Floyd been with us?
He's been at the zoo for a little over a year now. We got him when he was 8 months old, so he's still a baby.
Okay. Oh, so he's still exploring.
Yep, he's still exploring.
Oh, I bet the kids love him.
Yeah, you know, and we use him because everybody thinks he's a hedgehog. So we, you know, even though they look very similar, they're from completely different locations, and they're not even really in the same family. So
Aren't they really?
nope.
Now, isn't a hedgehog a bit larger?
Larger.
Much
yes.
larger.
Much larger. Yes.
But because of this is where right away you're thinking it's a hedgehog.
Yes, exactly.
Now, is he part of the traveling zoo too that you take to the different classrooms?
So he goes to all the different classrooms and education programs.
No, we're not letting
senior
you back in there.
citizens, yeah, and you know they go through a bunch of different tests and training. We don't just get an animal and it automatically goes out places. They have to do a lot of different trainings to get used to kids touching them, loud noises. They'll drop things in front of them just to get used to different experiences they might have out in the classroom world.
Now, you have a lot of volunteers, a lot of younger kids that come and help and volunteer in the summertime, right?
Yes, we have.
What are some of the things you would have them do? Would they be working with any of the animals?
They sit in the kangaroo yards and the lorikeet yards, and they just watch and answer questions about those two animals. Since it does take so long to get trained on the animals, the volunteers are highly trained volunteers. They're called docents. They usually do most of the animal handling.
Okay.
And you know, you can become a docent. It's just a couple classes, and you learn a bunch of different things. And you'll see docents all around the zoo. They sell little buttons. They're doing touch tables, and those just have different things to help you learn. You know, a lot of like, so if your favorite animal is the giraffe, the docents will have, you know, a replica vertebrae of a giraffe neck, or what the giraffe eats for breakfast on this little cart. And then they, you know, they're out there at the zoo and they just show the different things and help teach the people about their favorite animals.
Now, Emily, you have memberships.
Yes, we do.
Is it just one standard membership for all across the board? How does that work?
We have different memberships. We have family memberships and family plus.
Okay.
And the plus just means you get 10 bonus passes, and that's or 10 guest passes, and that's just $5 more for those 10 guest passes. So it's a great deal. And then we have, you know, same with we have the grandparent and the grandparent plus, and the same thing. It's just the 10 guest passes. And you know, you can use your zoo membership, and that gets you free entrance all the time at the zoo. But you can also go to different zoos across the country, and you get 50% off of membership, or 50% off at different zoos. Like Cleveland Zoo, you get 50% off. Buffalo Zoo, 50% off. I even went to a zoo in Amsterdam, and I got a discount for bringing my Erie Zoo membership. Yeah. So it definitely pays for itself.
It certainly does. It
Yeah.
really. I know my daughter, she gets the membership every year. She gets
Yep.
the family membership, and they use the zoo an awful lot. It's always been a great place. She'll go there, and they really just spend the day.
Yeah, you know, you can, and since if you live in Erie, you can just come for an hour, just walk
Even that,
around real
right.
quick. If you know the kids need to blow off some steam, just walk around for an hour. And
Then you have picnic grounds. Now, do you have to rent those? I've seen people picnicking out there. Do you have to rent those? In
those
advance?
aren't owned by the Erie Zoo.
Aren't
Those
they?
are owned by the city of Erie. They're first come, first serve.
Okay, so they
Yep.
are not a part of it.
No.
And I know you have great places to eat there at the zoo too.
Yeah, we have different little concession stands. We have, you know, of course, like hot dogs,
Yes.
French fries, chicken nuggets. But then we have some healthier alternatives too. We have grapes and, you know, chicken sandwiches, chicken wraps, things like that. So we have something for everybody.
Yes, you do. Now, you guys bring us so much entertainment throughout the year. You really do. You've always got something going. It's a great place to be. How can we help you at the zoo?
You know, there's different things that you can do. We have a wish list, and that's all online. It's just different things that the animals need or want.
Like an example, give me an example of some stuff that would be on there sometimes.
So the tiger needs a very specific kind of ball to play with, and they're almost $500. And we had, you know, people volunteer or donate money from a business, and they all teamed together and they got enough money to buy the tiger its ball. And it was so exciting because, you know, this ball is like completely indestructible and it's very heavy, and they love to toss it around in the water and play with it. And that's just something that we wouldn't be able to provide without the help of our visitors. So that was really nice. But there's definitely smaller things too, like jars of peanut butter or licorice, and the orangutans get licorice for good behavior.
Do they
so,
really?
you know, little things like that it's just nice to have donated.
And how else? What else can we do for you?
The memberships is a really big help for the zoo. We have almost 10,000 member families, and that is most helpful because that's a great way to get our revenue. And it's better than, you know, just buying a ticket one time. We have, you know, your membership for the whole year. And we wouldn't, for the size of our zoo, we're like #1 for membership families. So we're very lucky to have such a great following here. And, you know, some people will say, well, I don't have any kids. But you don't have to have kids to come to the zoo. You can, you know, we do have, you know, some kid you know, centered things, but you can just walk around the zoo yourself. I know a lot of people, we have a senior walking program with UPMC Health Plan, and you know, the senior walkers just walk whenever they want, and they just get their steps in for the day, and they love it. So you don't have to have kids to come to the zoo.
What I like to do is I like to brag that the Erie Zoo is accredited. And Emily, tell our viewers, what does that mean? I mean, it's a pretty big thing.
It is a pretty big deal. So you can have a zoo. Anybody could start a zoo.
Exactly.
But it has to be AZA accredited, and our zoo is. And that means that we've gone through, you know, lots of tests and inspections, and people look at how the diet of our animals and the breeding programs of our animals, and they give us a stamp of approval saying, like, we approve of your establishment. So we have like basically an A+. And when you have when you're accredited, that's when we can share animals with other zoos. So if, you know, the Cleveland Zoo needed a female zebra because they have a male zebra and they want to have a baby, and we have the zebra that they want, well, we can trade with them and they can have our zebra for a while. And but if you're not accredited, they don't let you share with other non-accredited zoos.
Well, I'm very proud of the Erie Zoo.
Oh, thank you.
That I'm part of Erie and part of it. I mean, it really is. You guys do a great job.
Aw, thanks.
We're kind of at the end of our program here, but I just wanted to remind our viewers to check out your website.
Yep, check out the website, like us on Facebook, and you can always call. You know, the secretaries love to answer questions, so you can stop in. The Zoo main office is open 10 to 5 daily, even when we're closed.
Emily, you do
8 to 5. Sorry.
Do a great job.
Thank you.
I just love visiting with you.
Aw.
And I love visiting with these animals. The snake was interesting. Only startled me a few times.
I think he's much easier. This guy's a little rambunctious.
Yeah, Floyd is.
Yeah, he likes to walk around. I like the animals that just like sit.
Well, viewers, really come down and check out what they have at the zoo. It is a wonderful, wonderful place to visit. Bring the family up. Just go yourself. It's relaxing, it's entertaining, and you'll probably run into Emily there too. Check out their website. Viewers, thank you so much for tuning into the Millcreek Government Channel. And until next time, have a wonderful day.
You're watching the Millcreek Government Channel, powered by WQLN Public Media.